Welcome to HortTube, where we talk all things gardening. My name is Jim Putnam, and this is a Red Diamond Loropetalum. This is Red Diamond Loropetalum, an evergreen shrub with beautiful purple foliage and red flowers multiple times a year. The tag on Red Diamond says it'll get 6 feet high and 6 feet wide. It definitely has a very upright growth habit, and just based on my experience with lots of purple foliage Loropetalum, if they have this upright growth habit, it's probably going to exceed 6 feet in height over time, but it'll probably be pretty easy to keep this plant under 6 feet in height and 6 feet in width. Red Diamond is going to be hardy in horticultural zones 7 to 10. In 7A, I wouldn't put this out in open space, like I wouldn't use it in a parking lot or something like that. Once Red Diamond's been in the ground for a year and a half, this thing's actually going to be pretty fast growing, like most Loropetalum. It has this upright habit, so I suspect it could grow a foot in a single season. Most of these purple foliage Loropetalum would prefer at least a half a day sun, and then all the way to full sun. You could absolutely cook these. If you give them less than a half a day sun, they're very thin and you lose a lot of the foliage color and a lot of the flowers. The primary uses for Red Diamond Loropetalum are, one, it's going to be used as a foundation plant if you have high windows or no windows on a section of your foundation. The other use is it could be used as a border plant between you and a neighbor. It'd make an excellent screening plant and probably grow very quickly and cover it up very fast. What really makes this one unique is it has these really intense red flowers on it, and they bloom a couple times a year. Most of these purple Loropetalum do. They'll bloom in the spring and then they'll bloom again in the fall. And this one's going to have red flowers, and they stand out a mile away. Obviously, what you get with all of these purple foliage Loropetalum is you get the purple foliage year-round on the new growth, and they usually have greenish older foliage, so you get this two-tone appearance. I don't know how well it shows up on the video, but they're quite striking. I've included planting instructions in the description of this video. The thing you want to keep in mind when you're planting Loropetalum is, one, they're kind of delicate when they're in these 3-gallon pots, so be careful taking it out of the container. They're actually easy to break off. Number two, just don't plant this thing too deep and don't over mulch it. Loropetalum are pretty rugged. If they survive your initial planting, usually you're in pretty good shape. Loropetalum are very drought tolerant once they're established. The first year you want to keep a close eye on it. Once it's been in the ground for a year though, if you're in an area that gets normal rainfall, you're just not going to have to do a lot of ongoing watering on these. Loropetalum are pretty good at letting you know they're dry because they'll get some red leaves in the interior that'll start to drop off. It'll start to thin out right in the middle. If you see that, you want to quickly grab a water hose and get some water on it and just drown the entire space around it. The new growth on Red Diamond is really nice, and you can get a lot more of that by fertilizing it in the middle spring with any slow release outdoor fertilizer. That's the only time you're going to want to do it. Loropetalum is very sensitive to having new growth on it in the fall and winter getting damaged. So just one time in mid-spring. Loropetalum can be pruned anytime you need to. I would probably prune this after it blooms in the spring, and you can get after it really hard. I'd probably take this thing 2 feet lower than you want to keep it. They're pretty fast growing, and it'll bloom heavily in probably April, depending on where you are. And it'll bloom again in the fall. So I would take that opportunity after the April flowering to get after it pretty hard, and then it'll flush back out with this new growth all season, and then it'll bloom again in the fall. There are really no problems on these Loropetalums. You'd have to plant it too deep and overwater it to really have any issues on it. We really don't get any chewing insects on these, and they're pretty much deer proof. So what are you waiting for? Even you can grow the low maintenance, purple foliage, red flowering, Red Diamond Loropetalum. Thank you for watching my video, and if it was helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for future videos. Also comment below with any questions you have about Loropetalum. Thanks again.